So after casting on, purling one row, and then placing the stitch markers, it's time to knit the first few rows with increases for both raglan and the neckline. The sweater is worked in the round, but you work a few rows back and forth first to shape the neckline opening and make the sweater longer in the back than in the front to ensure a good fit without using short rows. So this is a way of designing sweaters that we have chosen because we really think it is easier. And once you get the hang of it, I'm sure you'll get addicted to it too. So following the pattern step by step, it will be knit one like this, then make one left for the neckline opening. We have separate videos on how to make one left and right, so I'll just show you really quick now. Then knit until the first marker, because now you're doing the raglan increases. So for the first row, I just knit one, and then I increase for a raglan. This means make one right on the right side of the raglan stitch, knit the raglan stitch, move the marker over, and then make one left for the left side of the raglan stitch. So now I've worked one increase for the neckline, one increase on each side of the raglan stitch, and are going to continue working raglan increases by all 4 raglan stitches. So I knit over the stitches for the left sleeve until I reach my next marker. Then again, I'm going to make one right, since I'm on the right side of the raglan stitch. Then I'm placing the strand of yarn between my 2 stitches, picking it up from the back with my left needle and knitting that stitch. It's called make one right because the stitch kind of leans to the right. Slipping the marker over, knitting the raglan stitch, slipping the marker again, and now I'm on the left side of my raglan stitch and I'm going to make one left. How to make one left is you pick up the strand from the front like this, and you knit this through the back loop. So it's going to be looking like this afterwards, and it's called make one left because as the same as make one right, it kind of leans to the left, so it's really symmetrical around the raglan stitch. So now I've worked increases for the neckline, one on each side of the first raglan stitch, one on each side of the second raglan stitch, knitting until I reach my third raglan stitch, now I'll reach my marker. I'm making one right. If you see that I do like this, it's just, I think it's easier to pick up the strand of yarn in that way. Picking up from the back, knitting it as a regular stitch, knitting the raglan stitch, slipping the marker over, and then make one left. The same thing here, I'm picking up the yarn from the front and placing it on my needle because I think that's the easiest way to do it. And then knitting through the back loop to make one left. And then I just have one raglan increase left on this row, like this. Make one right, slipping the marker, knitting the raglan stitch, slipping the marker, and then make one left. And now the pattern states, because it's a universal sentence that is the same no matter where you are, and the rows increasing for both the raglan neckline. So it says knit until 1 stitch left. Now I just have 2 stitches left, so that means knit 1, and then make one right to shape the neckline like this, and then knit 1. So for this first row of increases, you've increased a total of 10 times. 1 time for the neckline opening here, 2 for the first raglan, 2 for the second raglan, 2 for the third raglan, and 2 for the fourth raglan. So that's a total of 8 raglan increases. And then you have increased also on the right side to shape the neckline opening. So a total of 10 increases. Then, since you're working back and forth, you just purl back as usual. You don't increase anything on the purl row. So I'm just going to do that. And then we are going to work another row of increases for both raglan and the neckline opening. Now I've purled my way back. Now you can see a bit better where we have increased. This is the increase for the neckline and the raglan increases. And now we're going to work the same row and increase for both the neckline and raglan again. So that means knit 1, make 1 left, struggling a bit there, knitting until the first marker, then make 1 right, slip the marker, knit 1, slip the marker, then make 1 left, then knitting until the marker again, just repeating the same explanation for the raglan increases, which is in the pattern, and then make 1 right. So you do the exact same thing to increase for all the 4 raglan increases. So once you get the hang of how you do it, you really don't need a pattern at all. But the first time, I would just advise you to follow the pattern just word by word and step by step. And hopefully this video will explain a bit more of how to go about to knit the raglan sweater for the first time, so you understand the anatomy of the sweater as you go. Now I'm reaching the 3rd raglan stitch, make 1 right again, and then make 1 left. Knitting until I reach the next marker. I can show you a bit more in detail how to make 1 right and make 1 left now. See? And then I need to until one stitch left again, like this, and make one right. And then knit the last stitch. So this is a sweater after working a total of 4 rows. The first row of increasing for both the neckline and raglan, purling back again, and then the second row of increasing for both the raglan and neckline. And now you can kind of see where we're going with this, because we're making kind of a slope, making it slant down here to shape the neckline, so it's going to be round. So we're doing that a couple times more to make it even more of a slope, and then joining in the front and working in the round afterwards.